Tonight, investigators obtain video evidence of the deadly collision in Manitoba. Reconstructing the crash involving a bus full of seniors.
The bus entered the roadway where the semi-trailer truck had the right-of-way.
And a tight-knit town traumatized.
Everyone on that bus is known by the rest of the community.
Huge tornado. Wow.
A terrifying outbreak of powerful twisters across the U.S.
There was a time where I thought that I was going to die.
Mass destruction from multiple storms. Plus, revved up for the Montreal Grand Prix.
I love this track, so I wanted to be here.
A high-octane event with Formula One fans sparing no expense.
Follow the sport with a passion, you got to do what you got to do.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina. Reporting tonight, Heather Wright.
Good evening. Investigators trying to find out exactly what led to a crash that killed 15 people. Revealed today they have a key piece of evidence. The dash cam from the semi-truck was recording when it collided with the bus filled with senior citizens. The RCMP say the video shows the bus pulled into the highway lane where the transport truck had the right-of-way, but said more tests are needed to determine any responsibility. Our coverage of this tragedy begins with CTV's Vanessa Lee in Manitoba.
The gruesome scene has been cleared away, but this intersection of the Trans-Canada Highway will forever be linked with heartbreak. This afternoon, RCMP revealed a key part of its investigation so far.
We have obtained video footage of the collision that was seized from the semi-truck trailer. This video indicates that the bus entered the roadway where the semi-trailer truck had the right-of-way.
Police say they have spoken to the driver of the semi-truck, but not the bus driver, who is in hospital.
At this time, we don't know. We don't know why the bus proceeded into the lane there. That is something that we're going to continue to look into, though.
Investigators have seized both vehicles for further analysis. They're hoping the semi's data recorder will help with critical information like speed and mechanical status at the time of the crash. Details that won't ease the pain of grieving families.
The 10 people injured in this collision have now been identified. This means that anyone else who was on this bus is presumed now to be deceased. However, the deceased have not been individually identified at this time.
The age range of those on the bus was between 58 and 88. 6 people are in critical condition. 4 others remain in a surgical unit. Doctors say the injuries are predominantly orthopedic.
Age does have a big impact on our ability to withstand injuries like this. So it will impact their recovery. It will impact their outcomes as well. So the recoveries will be long and their course could be complicated.
Uncertain days ahead as the country mourns alongside Manitoba as it copes with one of the worst tragedies the province has ever seen.
I can't imagine what these families are going through. It, of course, brings back memories of other terrible incidents like in Humboldt, Saskatchewan. But I know that all of Canadians stand with people during this very, very difficult time.
Manitoba's chief medical examiner says the worst possible outcome now is for them to mistakenly identify someone. They're using dental records and fingerprint analysis and hope to complete the process by the middle of next week, so the victims can be laid to rest. Vanessa Lee, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The passengers on board that bus were headed to a casino for a day trip that instead turned into a devastating tragedy. Many of the passengers were from the city of Dauphin, which is now a community in mourning. That's where CTV's Manitoba Bureau Chief Jill Makishon reports from tonight.
On a day when nothing is normal, a small attempt to try. At the Dauphin Senior Centre, bingo. It is the reason they've gathered, but support is what so many need.
It was shocking to put a very low spin on it. It was very quick to devastate the community.
In this small city of just 8,000, it seems no one is untouched by this tragedy.
Literally everyone on that bus is known by the rest of the community in one way, shape, or form. It'll take some time. We'll get through this, but it's certainly a tough couple of days.
The 25 passengers, including 19 women and 6 men, boarded the bus in Dauphin Thursday morning on a casino day trip organized by a newly formed local company called Quality Care Transit. The company posted a statement on its Facebook page tonight. Quality Care Transit is heartbroken about the events that happened yesterday. We extend our sympathies to those who have lost loved ones, and we pray for those who are still fighting. The driver of the bus is among the injured in hospital.
Very well liked. Drove the Quality Care handy van all over town.
This couple had met friends at the senior center before they boarded the bus Thursday, deciding not to go themselves.
They were always waiting inside, waiting for their ride. And so I chatted with them. And actually, there's several of their cars still parked in the parking lot.
A sad reminder as families continued to learn today who lived and who died. This is the worst mass casualty collision since the bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos hockey team was hit by a semi in 2018. 16 people were killed and 13 others injured.
I need to make sure I'm doing what I can to offer assistance because of all the help and love and support that we received during that time.
For now, the people of Dauphin are finding support in each other. Throughout the day, many gathered here at the curling rink, now a community support center. Jill Makashon, CTV News, Dauphin, Manitoba.
17 people are in hospital in northern British Columbia after a bus rollover earlier today. There were 30 people on board the charter bus headed to a coastal GasLink construction site north of Prince George when it went off a Forest Service road and crashed. Those taken to hospital are being treated for what officials say are a wide range of injuries, but none of them is considered critical. The governor of Texas has issued a disaster declaration after a fierce tornado tore through a northern section of the state. At least 3 people were killed and over 100 others injured in the hard-hit city of Perryton, not far from the Oklahoma border. CTV's Bill Fortier reports.
A drive through this Texas town reveals absolute devastation.
Everything was covered to a point I couldn't even get to the fire station.
A tornado delivering a direct hit to the city of Perryton last night. In its wake, a 2-kilometer trail of twisted metal, splintered wood, and despair.
2.5 blocks is pretty well completely wiped out.
I thought that I was going to die and I was going to leave a lot of things undone.
Jamie James knew one of the victims, describing her as a community volunteer who helped with food drives.
She served people, friendly, hugging people like me who needed it so bad.
Dozens more were injured, an estimated 200 homes ripped to pieces, and there was little to no warning. One storm chaser says in this case the disaster was difficult to predict.
Sometimes the weather does what the weather does, and this is one of those cases.
Another tornado claimed at least 1 life in Florida, and flash floods forced evacuations, just 2 in a series of violent storms across the United States. In Arkansas, golf ball-sized hail pummeled homes. In southwest Oklahoma, buildings were heavily damaged. And in the Northeast, powerful winds and unconfirmed tornadoes ripped roofs off buildings in Toledo, Ohio. The storm system spanning the U.S. came just a day after a near record-setting day for tornadoes in Alberta. Environment Canada confirming 10 Wednesday night, 9 of them within 300 kilometers of each other. Damage was reportedly minor. And the U.S. National Weather Service is predicting what it calls an active weekend across much of the Central Plains and Southeast, warning of heavy rain and wind, thunderstorms, and a risk of more tornadoes. Heather.
All right, Bill Fortier tonight. Thank you, Bill. Canada got a little bigger today, reaching a major population milestone. 40 million people now call this country home, according to Statistics Canada. Last year, Canada added nearly 1 million people for the first time in history. The growth is the highest boom since the 1950s and largely driven by immigration. It presents opportunity and some challenges, with experts warning that more housing needs to be built more quickly to accommodate the growing population. Meanwhile, the Safe Third Country Agreement that allows Canada to deny refugees who came in from the United States was upheld today by the Supreme Court.
We have to protect the rights of the vulnerable at the same time that we promote orderly migration.
The ruling is a major legal victory for the federal government, with the court rejecting claims by human rights groups that the U.S. is no longer safe for refugees. And for Ukrainians, their home is not safe. Today, Russia fired missiles at Kyiv while moving nuclear warheads to a new front. Today, NATO members, including Canada, discuss more ways to bolster Ukraine's counteroffensive. Here's CTV's Judy Trin.
The aftermath of airstrikes targeting Kherson. Children were among the 23 people injured, adding more grief to a city trying to stay afloat after a nearby dam was hit in recent days. In Kyiv, rockets were shot down, littering streets with debris, all occurring as NATO defense ministers gathered.
We have to continue to invest in weapons and munitions and replace the weapons and munitions that we provided to Ukraine.
Canada says it will contribute another $500 million in military support for Ukraine to help train pilots to fly F-16s and maintain Leopard tanks.
Over 36,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been trained. In addition, Canada will be donating 10,000 rounds of 105 millimeter ammunition, almost 300 air defense missiles.
But Vladimir Putin is amplifying his threats, telling a forum nuclear warheads have been transported to Belarus, triggering increased U.S. attention.
We don't see any indications that Russia's preparing to use a nuclear weapon.
As Russia makes moves to launch a new attack on Ukraine from Belarus, Canada is shoring up its mission in Latvia to lead a battle-ready NATO force. The defense minister says 15 more Leopard tanks and 130 soldiers will deploy to the Baltic region in the fall. But there are concerns about sustainability. Analysts say the country is nowhere close to meeting its NATO defense commitment of 2% of GDP.
I think we're probably going to be closer to 1.2% than 1.3% by the time of the NATO summit.
In less than a month, Prime Minister Trudeau will meet with other NATO leaders in Lithuania and once again face pressure to put more money into the armed forces. Heather.
All right, Judy Trin in Ottawa tonight. Thanks, Judy. Today, the man behind the deadliest anti-Semitic attacks in American history was found guilty.
A sense of relief that after 4.5 years, the world has heard again about the horrific acts on October 27, 2018.
It was on that Saturday, the Sabbath, that Robert Bauer stormed into a Pittsburgh synagogue armed with 3 handguns and an AR-15. He killed 11 worshipers. In court, prosecutors described his rampage as turning a house of worship into a hunting ground. Now a jury will decide if Bowers deserves the death penalty. 3 years after the brutal death of George Floyd, the U.S. Justice Department has released a scathing report on the Minneapolis police force. It reveals a pattern of systemic discrimination against racial minorities and the use of excessive force, problems they believe made the killing of Floyd possible. CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Melvin has the details.
His murder shocked the world. Cell phone video of George Floyd begging for his life as a police officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck until he was dead. Don't shoot! Floyd's killing sparked a reckoning on race. No justice! No peace! Setting off demonstrations and protests in the U.S. and Canada. Now, after an exhaustive investigation, the U.S. Justice Department accuses the Minneapolis Police Department and the city itself of engaging in a pattern of excessive force and racial discrimination.
The patterns and practices we observed made what happened to George Floyd possible. George Floyd should be alive today.
The revelations are disturbing. Officers using unjustified deadly force, including neck restraints and tasers against people for petty offenses or no crimes at all. Even instances of patrolling neighborhoods differently based on race.
MPD stopped Black and Native American people nearly 6 times more often than white people in situations that did not result in arrest or citation.
While Derek Chauvin and the officers who stood by were all criminally charged, this damning report calls for an overhaul of the entire Minneapolis force, the new police chief promising change.
It is our time to lead, to heal, rebuild, and create the kind of police department that every Minneapolis resident deserves.
Activists say they've been sounding the alarm for years.
We remember the days where the police will take you down to the Mississippi River at night and point guns at you and beat you and sometimes beat people to death.
Minneapolis and the police department have agreed to sweeping court-enforced reforms, but Senate negotiations for a federal law that would bear George Floyd's name have collapsed. Heather?
Joy Malbin in Washington. Thanks for this, Joy. A young Syrian migrant who survived a devastating shipwreck off the coast of Greece had a tearful reunion with his family today. 18-year-old Mohammed embraced his older brother 2 days after the boat he was traveling on sank. A huge search and rescue operation saved more than 100 survivors, but at least 78 people were killed when the overcrowded boat capsized. It's one of Europe's worst migrant disasters. Time for a 2-minute break, but when we come back,
I see this as being a turning point for the industry.
How the Hollywood writers' strike is having an impact here at home. Plus, a dramatic canine cliff rescue off the coast of Oregon. Film and television production in Canada contributed more than $13 billion in GDP last year, more than half of that coming from foreign production. But with U.S. writers on strike, a major industry is stuck on pause and thousands are out of work. CTV's Heather Butts reports.
Writers in the U.S. have been on the picket lines instead of the studio for more than a month.
LA is a union town.
They're fighting for better pay, protection from AI, and job security as streaming services dramatically change the industry.
A lot of the series that they're producing have much smaller orders, so as little as 6 or 8 episodes. And that has allowed them to really grind down on writers and try to get more work out of fewer writers.
Let's go, writers!
Canadian writers, production crews, and actors are standing in solidarity this week as Hollywood North is hit hard with American shows on hiatus.
They hire our crews, they use our locations, and that work is stopping.
Unions estimate tens of thousands of people are out of work, from actors and producers to makeup artists and craft services who worked on shows like The Handmaid's Tale and Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Matt Williams works as a grip and says he felt the pinch long before writers hit the picket line.
The slowdown started a lot earlier in that, with productions weren't willing to commit to production during a period of uncertainty.
He's part of IATSE, a union that represents 34,000 people in Canada's entertainment industry. Across the country, they say members have lost millions in wages.
It's very concerning.
John Lewis is vice president of IATSE and says the impact in BC is so big they can't provide an estimate of how much money has been lost.
We would have anywhere between 30 and 40 productions shooting that are U.S. based. In July, we will have none that are going to camera in British Columbia. That's unheard of.
Unsettling for those waiting for their next gig.
It's very difficult to see a period of time when things are going to pick back up again.
The labor unrest could get worse. The Screen Actors Guild is currently in negotiations. If they join the writers on the picket line, it's unclear how long it may be before production gets back to normal. Heather Butts, CTV News, Toronto.
Still ahead, a direct deposit dilemma. The glitch keeping some TD customers from getting paid. Major technical issues at one of Canada's largest banks have left some customers without this week's pay. TD Bank says it's working to resolve a direct deposit issue, but hasn't provided any details on the source of the problem. Customers have raised concerns about being unable to pay bills and automated payments putting their accounts into the negative. The bank says any fees charged due to missed deposits will be refunded once the problem is fixed, though it's still not clear when that will be. One of the best-known whistleblowers in American history has died.
I think that the American people should begin to confront this month, this week, the question whether the President of the United States is beyond all law.
Daniel Ellsberg was a former military analyst who leaked the secret Pentagon Papers to the media, exposing government lies about the Vietnam War. It led to a landmark Supreme Court decision upholding freedom of the press and inspired retaliation from President Richard Nixon that contributed to his resignation. Daniel Ellsberg was 92. There is some dramatic video out of Oregon where the U.S. Coast Guard rescued an injured dog in a state park. They were called in after a German shepherd named Dory was injured, falling nearly 100 meters off a cliff. The beach area was secluded and rescuers had to rappel in to get her out. Shortly after the rescue, Dory was reunited with her owner and taken to a vet. She's reportedly in stable condition. After the break, the need for speed.
Oh my God, that was really expensive.
But just for this point.
Montreal cashes in on the Canadian Grand Prix. Many of the best drivers on the planet are in Montreal for one of the biggest spectacles on this country's calendar. The Canadian Grand Prix is the latest stop on the Formula One circuit, and while Sunday's race is the main event, the whole weekend is a major economic boon for the city. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Geneviève Beauchemin explains.
Loud, fast, and a show on and off the track. The Montreal Grand Prix is the fastest-selling race on the 2023 Formula One calendar. And two-thirds of fans here come from out of town. Many of them are repeat customers.
We come here every year. Love to be here for the race, really enjoy the circuit a lot. We come from Texas all the way.
Those making the pilgrimage come with cash on hand, ready to spend. Nearly 95% of the city's hotel rooms have been snatched up, despite price tags of around $2,000 a night for five-star hotels and more than double that for some luxury accommodations.
The tickets are expensive. People are going with their Lamborghinis and, their big cars. Some people are renting fancy cars just to show off. It's an event where, you smell the money in Montreal.
Excess on display that's good for the tourism industry. But inflation is driving up the cost of everything, and perhaps all this spending could fuel it even further. After all, Beyoncé may have single-handedly boosted the inflation rate of an entire country. Granted, a smaller one, Sweden. Still, fans packed hotel rooms in May for the two-day stop of her World Renaissance Tour. Regardless of the wider impact, the race makes a dent in some budgets.
Oh my God, that was really expensive.
But just for this point.
Worth every dollar, they say, for the fast cars and the glamour. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And that's it for us tonight. I'm Heather Wright. For Omar and all of us at CTV National News, thank you for watching. Sandy will be here tomorrow. Good night and have a great weekend.
CTV National News, Canada's #1 newscast.